Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we're about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix in Glendale, Arizona. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
On 1st and 10, Murray, sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Set, 3-19.
From the gun, Murray. Going left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Vikings.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 19 carries, 77 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off play action. Murray. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me. I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
I only play a couple games a season, then soon to the next
smack
one.
dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
They get it to him running left. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory?
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Darren Lee able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Myers able to knock it through, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 11 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun. Fields throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Time for us to introduce you to the defensive starters for Arizona. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
after an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Fields. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a handoff. Johnson. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Murray now to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
Still second down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
To throw on second down. Fields toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Fields flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They go play action here on first down. Darren Lee in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
Off the play fake. Murray. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. Back to Glendale after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Green 39.
Here's Murray. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Set. Blue line. Blue line.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Now let's go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
3-19!
They'll run it now out of the guns. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Right back to him on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Boom.
Off play action. Murray, he's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
To throw on second down. Fields. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Detroit!
From the gun. Fields. Oh, he stays up. Flush to his right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On first down, Fields. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll run with Henderson. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. Blue landing! Blue landing!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully fill the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
Murray fighting, lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, after getting the ball in prime position to score after a fumble recovery, you think you're in a great spot. But the defense on the field is saying not so fast, and they've held firm on the first 2 plays.
Gone, 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 gone.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. On the carry is Henderson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by him and setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now out comes Minnesota. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Throwing on first down. Fields looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue, line it.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A final shot before break. Murray going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. 24-9, the final score. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And that matchup all even in their battle with the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Fields. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Johnson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility, but somehow you get...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Sua Craven's up to make the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, Fields. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Operating from the gun, Fields. Going to throw right side here, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really saw? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
To throw on second down. Fields. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he coughed it up. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Now Myers for the extra point. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will make this a 4-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing on first down. Fields. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now let's go. Green.
On 3rd down, Phillips. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind. The line of scrimmage. Here's Matt Wild now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to thank the guys on D.
And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
First target, first catch, and a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Back to throw. Murray. Johnson's got it complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
Set, B-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
All right, here we go. B-19.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Myers now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's Henderson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Fields escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Fields. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. Looking to throw. Fields got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Looking to throw on second down. Fields eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot in this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Sua Cravens with a pick, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. It's a 7th loss of the year, so that means they will not reach their goal that they stated before the season began of being a 10-win team.
And now things get a little bit bumpy. Something might be a little bit off with this team because they expected to get to 10, which is kind of the threshold for all teams that hope to make the playoffs. Now, in order to get there, they're going to need plenty of help. But maybe the team chemistry might be off a little bit.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.